fucking redo it. The letters written by the hand of a Relu warlash appear to have a life of their own. Moments in attention, and they begin to disperse, changing shape and moving toward the edge of the page. As though they're planning or leaping off, the commander lays the second part of the paired lexicon. It's the first. The letters become more intelligible. I join the two. The two letters are striving to merge into words, but they cannot. Compare the words. Can Archara unravel the secret? Focus on the calculation for a rift. Okay, focus on the analysis of mythical powers. I can easily parse that shit. Focus on the description of anatomy. Okay, focus on the description of the mythical properties of Demon Lord blood. Arrange the remaining words into phrases and grasp their meaning. Long last, all the phrases of the format are in an integrated text. The commander's patience and efforts to overcome the lexicon's offenses. The enemy has surrendered to reveal its precious secrets to the commander. The transformation process was initially conceived by me as a power source. However, in the course of my experiments, I learned that it partially solves the problem of the slow demise of the key. Power that manifests after transformation. I am almost certain the mortals will devise some overblown name for it, like mythic or legendary. Serves as an effective shield against the poisonous influence of the wound. Problems arise when it is used. When the power is expended, for instance, in combat the shield is weakened, and the infiltrating emanations of the wound strike the key, looting it, robbing it of life force. The problem is that it is immaterial in comparison to the second. The power increases after transformation is not infinite, nor is it protective effect. I managed to stave off death for the key for several decades, but despite achieving the extreme level of power bestowed by the transformation, at some point the key's protection will weaken. The whirlwind of prevalence consumed the soul of the key. I must admit my research has come to a dead end. I've developed the power of transformation process to its very limits. I've failed to find a way to completely cure the wound's effects, except for extreme measures. At this, the secret writings of Ulrich come to an end, as if reading the commander's thoughts separates the two halves again. So I did it. I read the book.
That was easy. I'm gone.
Greetings.
Greetings, Commander.
What are you doing here, Relu, with SWTOR in tow?
The SWTOR is my servant. I did not expect him to rush into the abyss after me, but I have allowed him to remain with me while I take care of some business. However, you asked what I am doing here. I bring answers. You have walked a long path, one where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers. At least, some of them. Day 16, Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of an Ahindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result, The essence will coalesce with the subject soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action. You are my creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Believe you. Why you need to do all this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
Ah, such special memories. Remember the laboratory, do you? I told you back then. Go on, look around. See all the ones Lydia really worked on. Here with us is definitely the place for you.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkineth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nahindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the lexicon of paradox in my old laboratory, and ordered the suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands. But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Kenabris with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies. This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength, and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it. Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Kenabris.
Not much of a threat. Look at me. Before you know it, I'll be a decrepit heap of flesh just like so. But I still managed to keep living somehow.
You need to tell me everything first.
Very well, then. Ask your questions, and I will answer.
These are a lot of questions. What is this wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound, in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed. No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace. Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. I am pleased to see that you still wear them. I enchanted them specially to protect you from danger. I am glad you found my gift useful. Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Kenabris. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yaniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
As it turns out, you helped me thwart the powers of your masters, Baphomet and Discari.
They are not my masters, they are a resource.
Tell me about Nihindrian crystals from the start.
Nihindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the Abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nihindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles. Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Discari's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Canabris. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time. A very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nihindrian crystals, although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
Is the whole ploy with the lab necessary? You already sacrificed your servant.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands, and that is why I was willing to risk his life.
Look at that, I actually provoked a reaction. That's the second time your expression has changed when I mentioned SWTOR. Now that I know the architect of the world moon is capable of feeling remorse, if only she sends her Dredge minion on a deadly mission.
I see I am not the only one making observations and drawing conclusions. You are analyzing me. That is commendable.
So you figured out how to use the crystals?
Not just any creatures. Demons. And half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
What have you done to my soul?
Your soul? I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Discari's attack on Canabris? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the world wound, whom they so revile.
My power is different from Jarabeth and the other demons.
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Discari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the demon lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water. But it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen.
Strange to see you here. Who do you really serve?
Both. And neither. I have served both Discari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself. You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
What do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
I will not refuse this power, but I'll decide how to use it.
Now you know. You truly know.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation. But is it truly possible? Angelic light in a creature of darkness? Am I tricking myself into thinking that I have been deceived? Forgive me, champion. I must leave you. I must collect myself, pray, reflect. Find me in the Nexus.
I want to help you close the world wound.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Arilu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now, I am convinced that she is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward her with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which she is about to take part.
Greetings to you, Our Lady in Shadow.
It's nice to see that even surrounded by mortals, you haven't forgotten who your mistress is, Arushale. You may rise.
I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it.
Greetings.
Such an impenetrable face you have, mortal. It hides your heart well. I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Alishanira, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately, by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nehindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
You were able to see him?
The herald of that upstart goddess, here.
Yes, although his defenses were quite intricate. A commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the Inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the Echo of Discari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities.
Why does Echo prey on him?
Envy, humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The Echoes suffered more than one defeat. First at Eridan's hand, then under the onslaught of the forces of heaven. Those routes taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Iomade himself is in the Abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels.
The Hand of Inheritor told me his magic deceived the eyes of all evil spawn, but not you.
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who were more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow.
Tell me about the Echo.
He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the world wound was opened, Discari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Galarian and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be. To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Eridan, protector of humankind. Eridan gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole Abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Eridan. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Eridan, especially his inheritor, Iomade. Her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Iomade's pet pug, if she had one. He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomade, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not? Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters, and tell them to prepare.
Green-eyed succubus, I know her.
Yes, you've already met Laulia, my talented assistant. I've heard she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the mines of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moments in the Abyss. And even a little earlier. I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the world wound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue.
Did Avrelu really create me? These aren't voiced. Not. Shutting out a hand, job law. With your powers, alone, filter, experiment, your soul, the essence of the Abyss. Of course, you remember none of it. Everything was done in secret. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of the Hondrian crystals. These energies are necessary for the first asset hand. Everything that's happened to you was part of my intrigue. I'm going to summon you and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you followed Jufline's order and arrived here early. One can only hope you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool whom we can fling into the flames. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened her with enough revelations for now. Give her time to become accustomed to the truth about herself, then you can share all the details. What exactly are you offering me? I'm offering you a chance to become my weapon. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well. What's more, I've never schemed against Chlorian, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest of your plane, at least not on my behest. What do I gain by serving you? A reasonable question. One must always serve one's own interests. Rest assured you will be adequately rewarded. I'll give you gifts befitting your ambitions and my patronage, which you can certainly count on. As well as for my immortality, I can grant you immortality as well. If you think I'll only reward the commander for your service, you are mistaken. I can grant every one of you whatever you desire. You underground hunter, would you like me to rid you of the curse of your short life to haunt your tribe? I would love that, but I'll have to pass. Why do you need me? If I were to make a move myself, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Sari can never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that visitors from other planets would shudder at the mention of Lishaniru. I'll wage a war on my own terms in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive my blade into my enemy's backs. Since Galfrey happened to send you into my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade mortal. You should also feel how she will be employed. You can decide later when the moment is right. Why would you want to close the wound? When it was open, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it a crossroad of worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels could meet. The wound was a convenient path which I could advance my ideas, but the Midnight Isles was only a realm that had been linked to Chlorian through the wound. Discarding Baphomet also had a way into your plane. His servants flooded my islands, spread out like plague. I was forced to shift my focus, express my discontent. Eventually, atop the bones of our servants would reach an accord. I would let the armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my island. Worst of all, Lady Vorlish told me about the crystals, the kind of power the crystals hold. Now they're determined to mine every last hidden deposit on my islands. Once island loses the crystal, it'll be nothing but flotsam, sinking into dark waters. How do you plan to close the world wound? It is a complicated process. You'll receive instructions once you've captured the threshold fortress of Glorian. First, you'll have to crush the guardians of the threshold, and their forces are growing by the day. Epsamir, Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of crystals in my realm. These crystals are a secret weapon. No army can stand against them. You must stop her. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transformation to 2 servants. It was a well-calculated game which brought us time. So we both love my loyalty. Epsamir is currently on an island not far from here. The route is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and more other things. If you heard the living bubbles of frozen time, it's all ships. And again, I'm not offering you anything new, as you're already enjoying my favorite commander. Your company is a succubus, and I'm the succubus queen. This demon follows you around only because I allow it. Tell me, Shelley, are you grateful that I'm not forbidding you to travel with your commander and fighting against your own kind? You are incredibly generous, our lady in shadow. So what do you think, Commander? Why is it so important to kill her? Don't just stand there and watch you close the world wound. Send their armies after you, so you'll need your own army. And that is something the Crusaders won't have for long. Epsamir is mining more and more crystals to empower her forces, and when she attacks, if you don't stop her, the Crusader resistance will be crushed. The ranks of demons pouring into the world will multiply. I'll consider your offer. And accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution and won't force you into submission. We all stand to gain if you do my bidding of your own volition. Ancient destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play part in events of titanic proportions. Many would give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Epsamir visits Lishaniru every now and again, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the island of Kalofir. Wish to inform you of treason. Is that so? Who have you decided to inform on it? More importantly, how did you learn these traitors? Shamir is researching the Handrian crystals in secret. How nice of you to warn me, I'm impressed. I do wonder, however, did you really think I was unaware of this, or did you merely wish to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. You were astute to uncover her desire to dethrone me. It's particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets of the crystals. I suppose your caution calls for a reward. Mining crystals is a surefire way to sink the islands. I assume you understand why who attempted to procure them in Oath were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamira about the mines you found. A friend of mine, the storyteller, has appeared in the future, and his vision helps me with sending demons after you. The demons are strengthened by crystals. You are a font of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by your appetites. An ambitious brat or a lecherous goat of a sire are bound to surface sooner or later, but your wanting won't culture me to keep a closer eye. You could have gone to Hepsimir with this and received payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. I'm on the bone ship and Oceanos pours a manifest of Nahindri. He's looking for Nahindri's greatest treasure, whatever that is. I had my eye out for a ship for a while. You've joined his hunt for no reason to tell me about it, I'm sure. Still, you made the right choice. Keep working for the parity from Nahindri. I'll find you and the search nears its conclusion. But he's a tolerator. Someone has to deal with trivial matters. For Sarah was assured the moment I made her my favorite. It was everything I wanted to. Old Will Discord page. I'm aware of this, of course. It is lamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him impeccable loyal. However, his death was but a single move. In games like this, a few pawns are unavoidable. My companion Ember would like to speak to you. Ember.
Ember? So that's her then? Well, approach. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a demon lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this?
Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is Illusionary, not ours, and we don't give alms here.
I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
You should hear her out.
In my realm, I decide to whom I should listen and whom I should hang. Be quiet. You wanted me to hear the girl out? Then let her babble on until I tire of her. So, where were we? My pain? My sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me.
I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive. People being devoured by monsters. People burying their children. They were in pain. So much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you.
What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat?
I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel?
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
I've seen the truth of her wisdom more than once. Perhaps it would benefit you to listen to her well.
As if I hadn't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. So, what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon?
No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost a goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you.
Save me? From what exactly?
From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen! You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You can do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen.
Oh, the Redeemer Queen! That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Whew. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight, or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool.
Do you think she took my words to heart?
Like, why would I have it do it? Oh no.
Suppose you're right. We'll see what happens.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
I want to ask about other powerful citizens. Are you interested in one of my servants? Your relationship with Morello. She works for me. It's obvious she's talented. She's the most brilliant and capable mind to ever come from your plane. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat, Lord Lucas, don't know anything about the betrayal of their faithful lackey. Betrayal is too strong. Do you remember the elven archmage who served you thousands of years ago? He's still alive. We know each other. Really? He was well past his youth even back then. Just how old is he now? Can mortals even live that long? Well, apart from the Atlanti, say hello to him on behalf of the Lady in Shadow and tell him that the one who replaced him has disappointed me immensely with his incompetence. No matter how hard he tried, he could never live up to my magnificent elf. You know, you managed to surprise me. A rare occurrence for someone who knows about everything. Are they your allies? Allies is too strong a word. Our connections is forged by circumstances. I did not join my armies with theirs, but I was forced to make peace with them. I met them on my terms and expanded my territory at their expense. How did a rebel become your servant? When the road was first opened, I led only to discard his realm. That was another more powerful breach which expanded Path through my realm and Pathments as well. For long, all the influence had heard about the power contained within the crystals. They flouted my embargo and greedily into my rock, stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one of Rolu's Rolash. She just wanted to discover the energies. I had her captured and was about to carry out her execution when she offered me something I desired. She entered my service. Her main task was to close the world wound. Instead of sealing my realm, we cut off from those of Pathman and Discari, and their slaves would no longer be able to enjoy my lands. Does it bother you? I'm not prone to jealousy. Loyalty is for fools. Everything is clear to me. I want to know more about you. Counting my whole story would take longer than your brief mortal life allows. As you become Demon Lord, bear in mind that I've always been unique ever since I was born. I was the first succubus of the Abyss. Perfect specimen. I had enjoyed my youth sharing with my brother and lover until a hungry gaze of Nahindri fell upon me. He saw me as a jewel and added me to his treasure. He tried to abduct me. I had no chance of defeating him, but in the moment I was not thinking. When it was over, he was dead. I eviscerated him. First his body turned to stone, then his blood streamed to crystallize. Perhaps they should be called Noctilian crystals because Hindri's blood crystallized. Me and my pain of conquest, only when the Abyss spoke my name with terror and reverence did I decide I had killed enough. Midnight Isle is really the corpses of slain demon lords. Yes, my home was like literally built on the bones of my slain enemies. How'd you do it? Surely you don't expect me to reveal a secret of you. You plan to do all the Abyss, possibly. got some business to take care of. There's one more thing that says Lexicon Paradox. You and my servant later just talking about the paradox. For many years it has been split in half, harmless, but once divided, who knows with power. What if the expanded version 4 will connect the other planes? Not a chance. You already possessed the first step. Find the other and bring it to me. consider your offer. The world will not disappoint you, I promise. I still have some business to take care of. You've taken a liking to my zeal, savor it. Let's get the fuck out of here. I will tell the storyteller.
Follow if you dare.
It appears I am one to blame for the discord between us. I was a forward companion, and I left you in the den, alone in the den of evil. I will soon leave you again, so please listen to me before we part. Faith has suffered a terrible blow, but in my blaze of desperation and anger, I spared no thought of your feelings. Even if you were not the chosen one of my radiant mistress, you were still a victim of a plot devised by you. It was insidious, defies my description and my sympathy, believe me. If only I knew how to heal your soul of corruption and remove Vorsh's place in it. Do so without a moment's hesitation, but I have no such knowledge. I see nothing terrible in this discovery. You see nothing wrong with the fact that your powers are vested in you by abomination of the abyss? Listen, Archara. I've already told you that I trust your good intentions, and I believe your goodwill. You use against your will. But it is also true you were a weapon forged by the same hands that mutilated the world with the world wound. Therefore, no matter how difficult it is for me to say, I cannot return with you to the crusade and fight alongside you, the righteous. And I am not prepared to support you in any other endeavors. Any course of action you could choose could prove to be the secret plan orchestrated by Arelu and the Demon Lords. I would be glad to heal you, but I can't. I would be happy to bring retribution to Arelu and the Lady in Shadow for what they've done, but it is not within my power. I'm helpless here, but I cannot sit around and do nothing. I am leaving. I'm going to hunt down the Echo. Then at least one righteous thing will be accomplished. Forgive me. Well, in that case, I'll have to fight Epsamir myself. Whoever gave me these powers, no one can be but me can defend the people of Glorin. How bitter it is, the one whom I accuse of being an involuntary accomplice of the darkness thinks only of saving the innocent. I was right to call you champion. Yes, you are right. We must stop Epsamor's legion before they swarm Glorian, feasting on living beings. I will not abandon you until this mission is complete. Everything else that needs to be addressed can be addressed later. Let's go, my boy. We handle business. Let me make sure you're not upset with me.
It's time to act.
To depart for Clover, your guards must watch over my camp in the Nexus and all who reside there. I will assign my assassins should no harm comes to them. Be grateful. I'm ready to hunt down. I hope you're well prepared. If you brought your strongest companions on your journey, they'll be the only ones you can rely on. Don't dismiss the importance of preparing. When you're ready, step into the portal.